Another battle over the Second Amendment will be decided in Washington state this November, not by judges, but by voters. Voters who are currently inundated with propaganda and misleading or blatantly false information by anti-gun advocates who are desperately hoping to pass Initiative 1639, which we've told you about on this program before. Now, this is a bill that will not only add all manner of new onerous restrictions on firearms for all gun owners in the state, but it will deprive 18, 19, 20-year-olds of their constitutional rights by raising the ages of gun purchase to 21. Now, these are citizens who can carry a rifle into combat in defense of our nation. They can vote in elections. They can run for office. They can buy cigarettes. But somehow it has been determined that they're not protected by laws that are supposed to apparently apply to all adult Americans. By the way, how can you run for office? You can be trusted to run to represent the will of the individuals, but you can't be trusted to carry a firearm in self-defense. I mean, it's age discrimination lunacy. I mean, if you can, to be able to increase the age of purchase of a rifle. And what does that do to youth competitive sports? What does that do to hunting, et cetera, et cetera? I'm literally made of questions. There's no one closer to the impact of crime than police. So if there's anyone that you might want to maybe listen to when it comes to this sort of thing, it's our men and women in blue. Oh, and they're against this new law. The Washington State Sheriff's Association made a motion opposing the law just last week. The Washington Council of Police Sheriffs said of this initiative, quote, and that's WACOPS, Washington Cops, they believe that the initiative 1639 contains provisions that are a clear violation of both state and federal individual constitutional rights, which as law enforcement officers, WACOPS, I'm assuming, members are sworn to uphold, end quote. Now, the Washington State Law Enforcement Firearms Instructors Association, they slammed this initiative, saying, quote, Initiative 1639 is being promoted as a public safety measure. Those actually working law enforcement know that it will do nothing to stop a single crime. This initiative has nothing to do with quote-unquote assault weapons and is directed only at our good citizens who already pass multiple background checks before owning a firearm. Initiative 1639 is an attack on civil rights and is an attempt to marginalize all firearm owners, including law enforcement officers. The initiative will impair public safety, embolden criminals, and impose burdensome restrictions on our most law-abiding citizens, end quote. Now, these are the men and women who step into the line of fire just by clocking into work. And if there is anyone, by the way, why are they not getting as much press as, say, oh, I don't know, Arte Acevedo down in Austin? If there's anyone that would have an investment in decreasing crime committed with firearms, it's these men and women. And yet they're against this law. Do you live in Washington State? And are you planning on voting against Initiative 1639? If so, get out there. Be loud about it, but be respectful. Be persuasive. Don't get into a massive philosophical debate over guns, but just point out to people who might oppose your opinion that even the police themselves are against this law. And point out that it actually defies state law. Point out that they stole the definition of semi-automatic and they applied it to the made-up term assault weapon. Get out there and fight this propaganda effort from the progressive left. There's no one better to do it in your respective state than you who live there in your state. It's easier for people in Washington to fight gun control laws coming through in Washington than people in Texas to fight gun control laws coming through in Washington, or people, from Florida to fight. I mean, you have to be able to clean up your own backyard. And you have to be loud about it, and you have to be vocal about it, and you can't wait until it's too late. Let us know on Twitter at NRATV if you have any successes. Every vote counts.